what day it is, maybe Wednesday. We managed to get a little bit of time again on the pickup. Worked out that way. I say it worked out, yeah. I left my tripod down the unit, so I had to come down the unit to get the tripod before I could then go back and do any filming at my garage. But things worked out. It's just easier just to do an hour on this car while we're here and then just head back. Cheese toasties for dinner. Got a little toasty machine, it's very nice, but maybe chicken, a bit of barbecue sauce, obviously cheese. But yeah, so we'll see what we can do. I think we just bolt the front end on, just get it out of the way, because that'll help us align the front as well with the wings. And then just see what we can do about aligning this front, because we've got the scuttle clamped on in one place, but the whole body's sitting too low, so we need to either raise the body or lower the front, you know. So we'll play about and see if we can just get anything just aligning a lot better, and be a lot more happy with some stuff. Yeah, cool. Front panel, yeah, later cars have teardrop mounts, they call them. They bolt to there, a little bit of rubber in between, obviously like all the other mounts with a bit of metal, and then these then bolt through the subframe. So we just get a few nuts and bolts. We need to take our little straight edge off, and yeah, let's get that on there. As I said, the all-speed frame, when it'll arrive, it's all solid mounts, so we won't even need the teardrop mounts. That's simple enough, isn't it? Wish everything else can be as simple as that. So yeah, got ourselves a wing that we can now position, you know. Okay, there's a little bit of flex in those mounting holes, but in principle that's where it's got to go, and it's just got to be joined up with everything else, with a lot of solid metal in between. Yeah, cool. Well, first attempt at trying to fit a wing on. Ain't looking too bad. Yeah, got a good 5mm gap at the bottom there, but I'm not worried about that. We can tweak stuff, that's for sure. Obviously what we've also got at the moment is a slight, you know, while we've still got the bulkhead, you know, there's no strength at the front here, we can play about a little bit with the subframe angle to everything, you know, to bring it all in line. Yeah, it's getting there. So this side I've sort of basically blacked up the body to bring it up in line, so basically the door pillar is at the correct height to where the bulkhead should be, so we now need to do that on the other side. See if we can get the scuttle fitting. Yeah, you find the scuttles are very tight in there anyway. You have to really sort of force them in sometimes. Not, you know, not overly force them, but you know, they're like the front. These wings, I find them always quite springy just to get in there, sort of thing. So again, don't know what I'm doing about the front end yet. In my head, it's removable front end. Not too sure how to do the fixings or anything like that. So I'm not too panicked at the moment. But it's also nice just to know things fit in there. And I'm running out of G-clamps, mole grips. You can never have enough mole grips, especially when you're doing this much of a project. So yeah, we've got the door in, even though it's only on 1 inch. But it gives you an idea. You can start keeping a look at the gap lines, see what's moving, what's not moving. See where you might have troubles or not. But yeah, it's just going to be a few weeks, months of all this fettling and panel on, off, on, off, on, off, wax on, wax off. But yeah, slowly. Okay, what we're trying to do is obviously get the bulkhead to line up with the scuttle panel. But what's, as I said, what always seems to be critical in my head is making sure the window fits. So as long as we've got this right aperture and the right distance between the aperture, between the two, the bulkhead will have to just go where it's going to go, because we're not going to do anything else with the window frame at all. So yeah, so we're just going to keep trying. Get it fitted. It fits better every time you do something. It's good. Luckily, I've got a mini clubbing over there to take some measurements from. Ah, can't see it. Wound. That's the trouble with sharp metal. Some people say you should wear gloves. I'd mostly go with that statement. Oh, right. If I had muscles, it was right in a muscle. All right. So measuring off the other cart, 16¼ inches seems to be about right. According to my tape measure, don't double check with your tape measure. I'm not saying mine's wrong, but you know these ends, they wiggle and wear, so don't take it for gospel. Oh, sorry Aaron, you called me the other night and I never phoned you back, did I? So 16¼ 16, so that needs to drop a bit, I think. Yeah, I need to bring it down a bit this side. Oh, my hand. Let's bring this side down a bit. Alrighty, that'll do for today. You just think and not rush on this stuff. So window aperture is looking alright. Obviously there's definitely some tension. Looks like the middle of this bulkhead's technically got to come down, or be forced down, because this yeah, well, I expect that could come up a little bit now. So that can come up and the other thing can come down. So it's not far off. I'm happy that it's close enough. I can work with it. I wasn't expecting it just to suddenly just drop on there. So I think what we're trying to do is try and get, you know, obviously simplistic terms. We'll put a new one of them on. You could just slice through the top of that, bang, and you know, take a tiny bit off the top of the bulkhead. No one's going to know anyway, but you know, in reality it should be fittable. So you know, what you just got to do is, if you start doing that, you then think you need to make sure why you're doing that, because it means something else could be wrong, and that's why the bulkhead's slightly high. Could also mean that somebody else has done a repair at some point and it's actually wrong, and this is the only way you're going to get around doing it. Yeah, you know, as we already said, even on the mini ones, you know, the panels, you know, part of me thinks, I don't know, part of me thinks they're not supposed to line up, you know, the bulkhead to these panels, but, you know, the factory just did it, so again, I expect they just worked on the window size and clamped it all up and welded the damn thing shut. You know, it's all on a big jig anyway, so it didn't matter if it was forced a little bit. But yeah, you just have to take your own route slightly. So yeah, we're getting there. You know, it'd be nice if we can try and get some of this a bit more solid. We're sort of on the verge of making it weaker, but not weaker. You know, every time you clamp another panel on, it's getting a bit stronger, It'd be nice if when we finally can get some welds on some of these, but as I said, we can't weld any of this until we know this front end fits, doors fit, and A panels, gaps in their A panels. Anyway, A panels can be technically word fudged anyway. But yeah, we need these corners strength back in there, then we can work our way back. So as I said in the previous restorations, you know, you try and, when you look at a big project, you know, you can't be too daunted by it. All you need to just focus on one little area and move around the car. In this instance, you've nearly got to focus on the whole car, because you need to make sure everything fits. There's no point, there's nothing here, so there's no point just getting a wing to fit and you haven't done the other side, you haven't done the scuttle, and you haven't done the door, you know. Otherwise, you're just going to get yourself into even more deep doo-doo. Which, who knows what I'm going to get yet, you know. Let's actually see what the doors shut like at a show. Anyway, that's enough waffle for me. Let's go make some cheese toasties. Got garlic Kievs this week at some point as well. I haven't had them for ages. Yeah, going to try well this week. Do a bit better health-wise, but that's life, isn't it? Alright, anyway, thanks for all the comments, all the feedback. Love you lots. See you soon. And thank you for a new patron. I've forgotten his name now. I must give him a shout out. I should give all my patrons a shout out, really. Where are they? Neil Boardman. So thank you very much. But from my previous patrons, Andrew Price, Michael K. Brown, Robert Mallet, Corey Mason, Sam Moore, and Simon McManus, and Jonathan Lockett. Thank you again for being patrons. You see the tools I'll be buying. Yeah, one day I'm thinking. The wife laughed. I thought about getting a toolbox with Patreons written on it, and then all the tools in there will be from the patrons. But anyway, thanks again. Glad I can help somebody. Woohoo!